Hello again. Let's continue building. I think, finally managed to get my scene switcher in OBS, so you get a nice fade in rather than um, just let's continue from blanks of attitude. Also, I think in the previous episode, I've totally failed to set it up properly, so we all started with a 1 second blackness. Oh well. Live and learn. I'm not really familiar with all the. Well, I know I'm not streaming actually, but I'm hardly familiar with OBS. Never really gotten into the video stuff too much. I do photos. I know how that works, but none of this stuff. It's black magic. I'm telling you. Right, what do I want? I'm not sure what I want because we're kind of coming from here. But I guess we could just keep going. Keep going and going and going. I can turn around. There's one there. I don't care. But there does not seem to be one here. Keep calling them sheds intermittently. And you can't actually turn it around, can you? Okay, make a few because it's kind of lengthy. So in the previous episode, we were still on slow, and I want it to be slow. On the previous episode, I've changed. Okay. Well, I guess it makes sense. So I was about to say, I don't want this. I want this. Not to town. Funny how they sound totally different. So yeah, I set this down to 0.7, and I set this down to 0.8 from 1.1, i.e. 100, because we were having issues with oversaturated stations, which we still kind of do. I mean, if you look at this, there are 8,000 people here who want to go to some place. If I close this up, I just kind of want it there. So like this is just, you know, random wherever. So, body? I have no idea. I mean, by definition, it has to be this, doesn't it? Yeah. So if I look at this stuff, we're pretty much losing money, which I don't really care about, mind you. Like, that's not a biggie. Where do you guys go? So that's Flying Moose. Did not want to close that. Good job. Glad I pinned it. Pagoda, so logically then it has to be, well, none of them really, because, hold on, that's Flying Moose. Soaking Mist. So, yeah, as expected, this one is kind of full, but we're losing money on it. And while I don't particularly care about the actual loss of funds, I'm a bit meh. So I'll give it a few more, but I'm not happy, Bunny. Like, all that is basically just down to us doing passengers, which then, guess what? Make me lose money. So it's not particularly good, good deal. But while I'm here, ad hoc, I want this not to be near a shop, which is good enough. I guess boards do kind of have to be hooked into something eventually. So I want a small fish. Yes, I want you. Every time my neighbor closes the window, even though it's a new build, it sounds like the place is being nuked. And actually, I'm going to drop this. And well, okay, food. Yeah, I think I kind of turned off. Yeah, I've turned off industrial terms, or they're not available, or I made some other form of semi-conscious mistake. Mail. Yeah, no, we don't do mail. Hey, a new bus. New bus. Yeah, there you go. You know, I stopped drinking a long time ago. It does have the word bus in it, though. But this is 2K a year, because we're obviously not going to do a lot. That's also 2K a year, because I'm pointing at the same thing. It's not my day, is it? Okay, you go around in circles. Just going to check this actually wants food, because of course it does not. So I could just do that. I'll do. Fine. These boards are kind of going to be a bit of a pain. I mean, I could obviously like hold it here, and it's just so weird. Like livestock, food. To the point that, check me out. I mean, the obvious thing is that we, sorry, or we, but anyway, we can bend bits of reality here. I have to make every producing industry transported, or the goods thereof, or some such. But that's the whole requirement. Supplies. Great, that's precisely what I want. So if I take livestock, oh, it's overkill, but hear me out. Farm supplies, also overkill. I don't care. and then food. So beyond the obvious that the two are not connected at the moment. Sugar, where are you? So many botherful visual objects here. Actually, they're kind of connected. So this comes out here. Can I? Like if I do this, bit of an overkill for all the money it's never going to give me, but fine. I don't think we care much about this. So this way, get you. What? You're going around in circles. I mean, I know I said that, but like I was saying this in a previous episode that there's the glaringly obvious we need to transport everything, but there's nothing about have we ever produced anything? Yes. There's nothing about us having to explicitly make money. I don't want to haul everything to the far end of the universe. But stuff like this has to be added in, which is like meh. Not food. People. And again, I am about 200% sure that none of these will make any money ever. I'm nosy about this though. £5 lifetime. Give another day. Stupid thing. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's kind of partially why I want to eventually kill off new industries. Because they, like if you look at, I'm making a gamble here, but if you look at this, I actually didn't know when I restarted, loaded the game. Like it was dated, well, December. So since I started this episode, we've had, you know what? A stockyard, another one, another one, another one, another one. Like, yeah. I mean, okay, stockyard's actually not too bad because it's not done yet, I think. Um, because it's not a primary industry, but you know, what I do have to connect essentially is this to that, and then that to here, and blah, blah, blah. So I will do these, but to be fair, you know what? This might be excessively boring for you guys, and it's financially not sustainable for me because eventually we'll kind of drop off the cliff. But if I spend the coming 25 years, hopefully not my own life, setting up the people stuff, then we kill off the industries, the new ones that is, and we can then focus on those which, I mean, you'll either be watching this or you won't. It's only so much excitement in staring at someone doing the same thing, either industries or not. But I guess Yeah, there's you can have it running in the background. I know people who do that. They pick someone playing a totally obscure game and just watch them do stuff in the background. I almost effed it up. Well, I wouldn't have been a big one. I could have turned here and stuff, but and I was meaning to read up on. Damn it! I wanted to read up on keyboard shortcuts. I could just pause the recording and do it, but you know what? One sec. And I'm back. So basically the TLDR is that there's no such thing as what I want. Some random guy had a patch pull request on GitHub a long time ago. It was in 2015, a guy called The Dude, and the actual pull request ID was 6210, but it never got implemented. So, bummer. Paused. Okay, fine. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's so annoying. Like, it's just some of these things. I know they're like, I know it's first world problems and I'm just complaining, but or the usual. I could just get my Visual Studio up and probably merge in what that guy did, which I might actually do that at some point. I mean, I'm already kind of playing on a pseudo custom game. Merging in a PR into a local branch is not particularly difficult. And then his legacy lives. Might be a stupid idea. I know what an emu is, obviously, but what's an irregular emu? Yeah, nah, that's fine. I'm not even going to ask. Why would people go and stroke chickens? Male chickens. Don't know if I needed that many. That's only 3. Obviously. What else? Yo, my female dogs. I don't quite. Where am I? Literally in the middle of nowhere. Some of these are. Do you ever think about not destroying rivers? Not that they would be part of any agreement of sorts. With myself, most of all. Pyongyang destock. I've been to Pyongyang. At the time, they were using the old German exports from 1939. They only had new trains in like 2020 odd. And yes, by the way, I've been to Pyongyang. I'd say you get a beer if you react to it because that means someone's actually paying attention, but I don't drink, and chances are you're not in London. It's sugar. So, mm, well, you thinking what I'm thinking? Because if I put a dock here, more precisely here, it doesn't matter because we can always just connect. Which is exactly what I'll do here. And then I could haul people just on ye boat, ye oldie boaty. It's actually not that oldie. And I'm definitely not going to build any further or farther at this point. Sugar, obviously. And I can't do that because why could I? I don't really want these to mine, so they definitely can't build out there. Okay, so you can turn it out here. It's not too crazy. And this is the end of the road. Good for me. I'm never really sure if this technically counts as part of this. Like, if I dump a bunch of people here, does that technically mean that the town is happy? Nice. That's good. I need to pause the recording for a moment. Right, I'm back. Sorry. Uh, so I was saying, I'm not sure if having a hotel actually adds anything to the town itself. No idea. Do I want to know how many industries we have? Not really. I'm pretty sure music was on. Yeah, like this is typically one of those from here. We kind of should hook in there. Whether I think that's a great idea is slightly different. Nobody. Nobody never came here, which is perfect English, and it has to do with the fact that nobody ever connected this place. I have questions. I'm probably going to regret this. I mean, this is as suburban as it gets. I mean, as rural as it gets, but so if I, doesn't matter if I do 5 or 3, does it? I'm just going to casually overload the system. Well, I kind of expressed previously, I'm not a huge fan of monorails because, well, they're very far from ideal. So where the hell are we? I've said this in the previous episode a bunch of times. Doing earthworks is way too cheap in this game. Nope, not 5. And yeah, there's no way to change the direction of these things. Close enough. I want to clone one of these. You do my will. Probably 2 of them, which is exactly 3. So that kind of connects stuff. And that's connected into here, which means we'll probably end up with yet another station with 5 million people. I mean, you know what my problem is? Why do we have 4,000 people here? Oh, because you all want to come here, right? Spank Moran, no. Here, because you want to go someplace. Really? What do you do? That's septic chicken. I think the problem is that these guys, spam one, sleeping cookie. The other problem is that right, you know what? F it, you. Which kind of means I also want to. What are you? Medium, medium, large, medium, medium. It's large. Then we had to work. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a spare character here. Yeah, honestly, this is like food Excel. And even the one I had was more like M. Because then I think these are the same. That goes in there. I'm just going to triple check. It's only one type. I'm pretty sure I've had livestock. Sure. Okay. So here we. So this can definitely kind of come up here. This can, I think I just, no, I did not just move this. I did move this recently. Anything under 20 should be a different class. Okay, fine. I think eventually I'll just get bored of this, because if we're going to have 65,000 vehicles, I'm not going to be doing this over a few months. We'll collectively hang ourselves. Two people, 600 people. What the hell are these things? Honest. The other thing I wanted to check was a template for the monorails. Edit. New. People. We do 9. Where? So you go 80 people. That's the one we're using actually. 88. No, 80K and 470. No, I'm not going to bother with these. Right, fine. Life goes on. I mean, technically, we could connect a whole bunch of these things like this to that, and it. I am causing myself a headache, really. Yeah, I don't want big ones. I know I did. I know I just did it a moment before, but okay. Yeah, just give me a moment. Some of the music I'm listening to is a bit aggressive. So much for the end of the road. The reason why this is getting a big one is because it's connecting stations, but like we're obviously not balancing stuff. Hence, we end up with either this or this. Nah, still no. I'm going to check, hoping for magic that there's something interesting up here, but there's mail, 4th Jan. These are all 4th. There's going to be 5th, and I think that's the end of it. Like, I vaguely remember there's no 6th, and even 5th comes in like 1990 or something. I haven't played this for a long time. Very long time, actually. I think on my other computer, I have a saved game from like 5 years ago. Eh. Nice bridge, very nostalgic, off with its head. Hmm? Well, bite me. Definitely not a challenge for me, as in like not something I would enjoy, but an interesting challenge would be to set up cargo distribution on a reasonably sized map, timetables and stuff, and just make it work. By which I mean not this chaos that I'm doing, where we just totally load unbalance stuff. What on earth is this? I know there's an extra, doesn't matter. Do I even care? How do I want this? Because everything's kind of going to be flowing in here. So why don't we do this? And then whoever wants to turn it around can turn it around. Going to make that bridge a bit. No. Yes. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible choices. Okay, well, I might as well just kind of do it this way then. Yeah, we don't care about these being connected because they have boats. And these guys have boats. And now these guys have not boats. They have things. Ah, damn it, you have... Nope. It's like the typical corporate social responsibility. Hey, we care. Delete. No, we don't. It's a little odd layout, but I don't want Concord. It's a nice thing, but we don't really have so long. Like even if you look at all of our planes, they're all on group, but like people stuff, nope. Mail, that's just the same. Obviously, nope. Engineering supplies, obviously yes. Like that's the whole. It's not what I wanted. I think it's F many. Ah, yeah. All goes to plan. I'll have a bit more time this afternoon, evening, and then I'll probably start the Waterworld map just to take a very temporary break from this. Which is not to say I'm dumping this, of course, but you know, variety, nice thing. We'll probably play generally the same idea on a smaller map, boats only. I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, still don't know. It's going to come in here. Yeah, same idea, connect things, smaller map. More islands. Boats only, different town names, obviously. Technically, I'm sure there's a way to script town names being renamed somehow. It can't be that incredibly difficult. But yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. If anyone's offended, it wasn't me. Jeez. Yeah, fine. This is so stupid. You get the food, you take it here. Fine. Placement. although this may or may not be going anywhere. I need to think about that because connecting these three would be useful. We are not paying info. Everyone, go away. And I'm going to run a few of them here because it's a pretty long distance thing. Okay, so that is not covering the city. Junction. So I don't have anything stopping here, which is to say I need to start one farther away. A key. And then come back here because it's already a marathon length thing. Did I? I did not. Just because it's way too many of them. How is it with time? Ah, okay. It's actually 57 minutes. So you know what? I am going to stop right here and I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Any comments, interactions, likes, whatnot, subscribes, feel free to. Thank you again, as always. Bye bye.